Well, as we've been hearing, the German Chancellor, Olaf Scholz, is due to visit Ukraine and Russia in the next 10 days, where he'll discuss tensions over Ukraine. Mr. Scholz has described the build-up of Russian troops on Ukraine's border as very serious and said any invasion would have consequences. Next week's visit to Russia is set to be the first face-to-face meeting between Vladimir Putin and Chancellor Scholz since he succeeded Angela Merkel in December. Let's get more from DW political correspondent Simon Young. Welcome, Simon. Olaf Scholz has been criticised for his government's lack of visible action in support of Ukraine. Now we have this flurry of international appointments, including meeting with President Putin in Moscow. Does this indicate any sort of change of stance in Berlin?
Well, Phil, I think the real change is one of pace and optics after even the media here have been asking where is Scholz in recent days in regard to the Ukraine crisis. So this visit to Washington, which is in fact just the usual first visit by a German chancellor to see the US president in the White House, I think there he'll have some work to do to, persuade US politicians who are concerned that Germany has been slow, for instance, to put the issue of Nord Stream 2, the gas pipeline from Russia to Germany, on the table, as Scholz has now done, to say that that would be affected if there were Russian aggression against Ukraine. Also, I think some in Washington have looked at the German reluctance to support Ukraine militarily, even though, of course, people understand there are historical reasons for that. But the whole stance has given the impression there, I think, that Germany may be an unreliable partner. So that's what Scholz wants to make clear is not the case. It should be said the Biden administration was willing to give Scholz, I think, and the new German government a bit more space. They haven't proceeded with measures, sanctions against German firms over Nord Stream, for instance. But this is now coming to a head. Scholz will be going to Kiev in 10 days' time and Moscow after that. So Germany is really keen to play some sort of mediating role on the Ukraine crisis. They've been doing that for several years, and we're going to see the contours of that more clearly, I think, in the coming days.
And what of Russia's ban on DW? Is Mr. Scholz likely to raise that?
I think it's highly likely that he'll raise that with President Putin. The government line here has been it's completely unacceptable. It's disproportionate. There's no symmetry, they say, with the decision by a German media regulator not to give a licence to a Russian channel. The foreign ministry is asking the Russian authorities to reconsider that decision. So it definitely will also be one of the things affecting the German-Russian relationship. But, of course, there are many other things for Scholz and Putin to talk about as well.
OK, thank you for that, Simon Young.